so many people get frustrated the minute their video only stops at 200 views and they can't. And after like days of it, it's so annoying. I get it. But I always say, like, I'm showing up for the people who are there.
The whole time I was home, I was like character studying you. So
Oh,
anytime you would
God.
like do something or like have your Jersey accent, I'm like, your mascara, your mascara.
This is going to speak to a lot of people listening of how you can really, it's crazy, how you can make the connection to the thing that you love and marry it into how you can put it out there on social media in a way that's sustainable. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
Long
Been a
time no
minute.
see. How are you?
I'm good. It's warm.
Good.
I'm back in the warmth.
Oh, it's cold here, and that's not nice of you to throw it in my face.
Well,
Good to see you.
you should just move to the West Coast then.
Okay, yes, shall do in my next life. So nice to see you. All right, we have
Nice.
lots of catching up to do because you were here for weeks and we don't make content when we're together a lot of times, which we can dive into why that happens and maybe we can analyze it and figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
But how are the holidays? Did you enjoy?
I did enjoy. The holidays were great. Lots of fun.
Hmm.
A lot of a lot of beach time, a lot of cooking, a lot of football. Watched Michigan win all their games. Very
Amazing.
exciting. They're natty champs,
Amazing. That was
which was only
awesome.
like a week ago, which feels it feels like it was ages ago. Like Steve and I were saying, we only got back from New York a week ago today. Today's the 16th,
It's
but it feels
crazy.
like we've been back for like 3 weeks just with like everything we've done.
That is
So
crazy.
I'm tired.
That is crazy. Well, I'm glad that you're back and in your warm climate and kind of back in your zone because we always
Hmm.
say that we struggle when it comes to work when we're actually physically together. Isn't that weird? It seems like
Yeah.
we should be more efficient when we're together, but I have a theory on this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, you ready for my theory? Since we've been working together, we have been remote. So
Hmm.
when we are physically together, we don't have an established working relationship because the only time we worked together when you were living on this coast was when it was production. So it was just a shoot and you were a PA.
Hmm.
So we have not had the experience of working together in a physical same place, in the physical same place.
Yeah.
So I think what happens is we have such a good rhythm remotely that it's
Hmm.
hard to do it when we're physically together because we fall back into like mother-daughter real time living at home. I think that's it.
Yeah. Like I fall back into like being a college kid and like I'm visiting home for the holidays
Right.
and it's not.
Oh
And
my
it's funny
God.
because the most work I would get done is when you would go out and run errands or be doing other stuff. Like that's when I got my work done because like you were
It's
not in.
it's crazy. Now, on my front, because I'm always doing a bunch of different types of work since I have production going, I find myself like I have a rhythm for work, but it's not necessarily the rhythm for us working together. So even
Mm.
with you being around, it was like, well, I don't know. I can't explain it.
I also feel like that's why we don't make content.
Yeah, that's a big, well, first off, I don't want to say it's a stressor for me at all, but
No.
when I first started on TikTok and you guys were home in the summers and I was first making my name over there, you guys were all willing to be in my videos because it was kind of new and funny and exciting.
And you
And
didn't have a
now
million followers.
I didn't, and now
It
you
was
guys are
just, it was going into the internet abyss. It wasn't like,
right. Specific followers, maybe. So it's funny that we're together now, the content we probably should be more organized about it, but then that's not how I roll on my TikTok. I'm not a
mm.
planner. I'm not like, let's do this week, let's do that. I just can't. It's much easier when it's like off the cuff.
I think we make more content when you come and visit me than when
Mm,
I come home.
I have a theory on that too.
Okay, let's hear
I have
it.
theories on everything. My theory on that is I'm always creating content about what is happening in my life. And this is going to lead right into what our topic is for today, by the way. But so the way I approach my content is documenting things. So I'm documenting what I'm doing. So I'm doing this, I'm making soup. That was my other ridiculous video from the other day. I was like, oh, I'm making soup. I'm going to make a video about it. So I then, when I'm visiting you, that becomes part of something I'm doing that I need to document. That's why we make content because it's like, part of what is my routine already. And then because you're involved in it and you get swept up in it, then you're making it a plan for making content. I'm telling you, that's what
Hmm.
it is. If the roles were reversed and you were the hardcore daily content creator documenting your life, when
Yeah,
you
I
came
think.
to visit, it would be today my mom's been driving me crazy with this and that or the other thing, or today we're going shop. You would be doing you would be doing what I'm doing. So when I come out to see
Yeah.
you, it's like, what's today's adventure? I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
It's
I think
like
I've
because
cracked the code.
when you come to visit me, it's like a trip. But when I come back home, it's like I'm just
Oh,
coming home. Not in a bad way,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like coming home is like a relaxing thing. Like
Right.
it's like the whenever because I started ever since I've gone to college, every time I come home it's for a break from something. It's a break from
Right.
school, it's a holiday break. So it's
Oh,
associated with like time off of like work. So I feel like maybe that's why whenever I come home it's really hard to like
true.
shift into that gear
True. You telling me we
because
need to
it's
make your breaks shorter now?
no, I got my work done.
But it is funny how that is a rhythm of who we are. So I want to just
Hmm.
go, here's the topic that we're going to talk about for today. And I think it's just going to work naturally into the rest of the things that we're going to talk about anyway, which is social media versus reality and how people out on social media have a lot of them have two lives or two versions of themselves. And I'm going to speak to, there's a creator, I'm not even going to say what her name is, but at one point she reached out to me directly and she said she wanted to make sure that I knew, oh, that's my social media personality, but in real life, like I don't have that accent. And I was like, say what? Because I just presumed that that's who she was. So I think it's funny that a lot of people curate to the point where they're acting on social media. And
Hmm.
I don't know. So obviously I don't fit that mold because I'm just the same on both. However, there are things that I know and not about me that I can't share because I'm pretty much of an open book. But there's things that I know that when these certain things are happening, I'm not going to come on social media and be posting about it because I'm not at liberty to share other people's business on social media.
Yeah.
You with me? So
I'm
I
with
can,
yeah.
yeah. And so I can say this on the podcast because I don't think it's putting anything out there, but that people don't, or maybe that are close enough to us know. But Tom, my husband Tom, had knee replacement surgery this past week. And so typically in my content, I would be posting like, what am I doing today, my life, or this or that. But I will not post about that because I don't think that needs to be out on my TikTok. I don't think people, number one, because he's not interested in being on my TikTok. And I don't want to have that story being out on my TikTok to a million followers. You with me? So
Hmm.
I make sure, but the big but is that I don't stop from posting because of it. I
Hmm.
just work around it into other little minutia things that I'm doing. So now for the examples for this week, since I couldn't post my daily routine or my daily things that I'm doing. I'm not at shoots this week. I'm not doing that. So and because I'm going to call it nurse duties. I'm being such a good nurse, Julie. You would be
I'm
so
so
impressed, by the way.
proud.
You would be so impressed. And I think I'm a better nurse because of what I went through last year. I think that the chemo thing helped me realize that it's nice to have someone that's really caring when you're going through something. Tom was such a good nurse to me, and he was such a good supporter to me
I think
during
the people need to know the backstory that mom is not the best nurse.
I'm not the best nurse. And I always find like he always says it like
You
if
have
something
very
hurts, I always find the spot and I accidentally touch it. So it's like no matter what happens. Literally, I was trying to help him
yeah,
put ice on the knee and my thumb grazed. Well, I have these big rings on and it grazed and I almost fainted.
and you sent us a Snapchat yesterday of like his scar with the staples in it, and I was like, "Whoa, you need to put a freaking trigger warning on that." Like just sending it a Snapchat video.
Oops.
You know, I was trying to Steven cut his finger over the holidays, and I was trying to bandage him up, and I almost fainted twice. But you're
That's
out here sending like
crazy.
full-on 12-inch scar tissue
Without warning.
staples.
Without
I
warning. I'm
like
telling you.
immediately closed it.
Oh, there was nobody responded. I was like, wow, I can't believe we didn't
Well,
get a
because it was
response to that.
insane and I couldn't watch it.
Yes. Well, just think about me with these rings that I wear. And I accidentally was, when I was lifting up his leg and I just grazed it and he was like, "Ah," and I almost passed out, literally, because I felt
Hmm.
so bad for the fact that, and I didn't. it was so light and gentle, but it's so painful. So of course, but I'm really, 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 really a lot of reallys trying to be better at being a nurse, and I'm trying to do a good job, and I'm being thoughtful, and I'm trying to think of the things that aren't natural to me to think about. So I think I'm
hmm
doing pretty good.
Doing better?
I'm doing good. Yeah. And I'm sleeping well. And he's amazing because he's not disrupting me in the night because he knows I need my sleep. So, but sometimes, I'll get up earlier to get him, because he can't even move around enough to get breakfast at this point.
hmm
But he's getting there little by little. But what I want to say about the content machine is that I didn't really let it stop me from making content. I didn't put myself on a hiatus. I just thought, well, what other things can I do? What else am I doing? And so I would go out and do some errands and I'd find something interesting to post, or I would go out to buy ingredients for soup. And I was like, oh, look at that, Skinny Taste. I saw a soup and I got inspired to make her pasta vazul. And I'm like, I'll make a video about it. So I'll put that in the show notes because I love the show notes. But
hmm
I do think that this is a great lesson for people who are on social media who don't they panic about something and they're like they have to stop doing everything because they're in the middle of something and they can't figure out how to work content in there. And I think the thing is, as we always say, Julie, what do we always say? Everything is content. Everything is content. So even me going to the grocery store to buy some soup ingredients became content. And then I was able to do almost like a little shout out to Skinny Taste, my friend Gina, who we're going to have. Oh, P.S. We're going to have her on as a guest on our Socialized podcast very soon. But I really think if you think about it that way, you can always find something to post. And so the days where it was very full of nurse duties, when I would go out for errands, I would specifically keep my eyes peeled for things that might be interesting to share because I have content on the brain. Maybe I'm just not
hmm
normal. Could that be?
No, I think you're very dedicated. I'm
Oh, I like that word. Makes me feel a little more normal and not to say I'm obsessed.
no, you're just very dedicated to your craft. I'm
I
struggling with I haven't posted in probably a month.
can't even
As of right
imagine.
now, it's been really hard to make content recently, and I don't know why. I mean I feel like I'm in a low where I'm like nothing is interesting, and you're
Oh,
saying content is everywhere, and I'm like I don't
you don't
know
see
like
it.
I
You don't see it.
and I'm not seeing it. I want it to be like I really want to use my social media for like my comedy.
Right.
And I feel like my past few like tapes haven't been very good to like find clips to post. So I'm like, I'm not going to
Mm,
post a clip where there's not good laughter. And on the other hand, if there is good laughter on a joke that I know I'm going to be performing in a few weeks, like I don't
mm.
want to
You want to
post
save
it.
it. Yeah, yeah, you want
And
to
I
save it.
want like the people I'm inviting to see it real. So I'm just having a really hard time
Mm.
trying to figure out like what my strategy should be going forward. And it's a struggle because I want to be
Okay.
posting.
I have been thinking about something that I wanted to say, and I haven't said it to you, so I'm going to say it
Oh
now.
boy.
Oh,
Okay.
God. But I was thinking maybe, are you braced for impact?
Yes.
Maybe you should be our little project, our little social media project. So,
hmm
because I was thinking about this, because I noticed that you weren't posting, and I know that you have a different mindset in terms of posting. But I was thinking, that maybe what we need to do, because you're really good at making a strategy for other people. You're really good at giving
Yeah.
advice. You're good, but you don't do that for yourself. So
No.
I was thinking maybe together, even with me involved, is you have an accountability situation. Like you're going to say, okay, what are your 3 videos this week? You're going to have to
Yeah.
make a plan because you're going to have to report back to me, AKA your
hmm
boss. Just
Yeah,
kidding. Just kidding. Your partner. But you're going to report back to me on this. I'm going to be your boss though, on this
I
little
know you
side
are.
project. Because I think you could do it. Like you could say, all right, I'm going to find 3 funny things that are not related to my comedy skits that are not that you're going to when we're searching for the creative forecast and you see things, I want you to specifically look for one trend a week that you think you can tackle and that you think you can be funny in.
hmm
And then you're going to say to me, whatever it is, because we're going to make a commitment. I'm going to add this to your goals for 2024. You're going to make a commitment where you're going to say you're going to post 3 times a week on all of your channels. And
hmm
how are you going to plan that content? Maybe in Airtable, we're going to set up the Julie content calendar separately, and you're going to be committed to it because I do think some of the times, the one that you posted where you were doing pretending to be the influencer and you're clicking your nails on the things,
Hmm.
and our doorman Alfonso thinks that's the funniest video ever. You need to do more of those. Those are the things that are going to get you
I
noticed on social.
know.
Oh my
I
God.
know. I've started to make a list of ideas because I feel like I don't necessarily want to do like skits because sometimes I feel like then you
Mm-hmm.
fall into like, oh, you're a
Skip.
TikTok comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not really like,
Nope.
not really. But I do want to do like the one with the nails. I want to do like a series of that
Yeah,
because I watch
right.
so many of those. It's like when they put makeup on and they go, "Oh my God, do you see this?" Or when they put on a bodysuit, they're like, "I am so snap," you know? So I have ideas. I just have to make them. And I
Yes.
also think part of it is just um like the last few weeks of the holidays and then traveling back have been so busy that it's like to make those videos by myself, it's like I need like to be alone. I need to do
Mm.
this, but it's sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's so funny
Yeah.
because I even had an idea for this morning because you know how I'm getting those notifications now for the still carousels where it says join
Yeah, they're
and it says okay.
mhm.
So every day I get one that's related to like Asian, your favorite Asian recipes. I can't. Or cake creations. Okay, why is it all food? Today I got one that says today I got one that says, hold on, let me read it. I think it says mascara tips. And I was like, oh, this one I could get
Mm,
on board with because I love my mascara. Let me make sure that's what it says because I was just
mascara.
really into it.
I think something's funny
Ooh,
that I need to share is that the whole time I was home, I was like character studying you. So
oh
anytime you would
God.
like do something or like have your Jersey accent, I'm like, your mascara. And I would just
Oh my
repeat it
God.
over and over again. I'm like, I'm just character studying Helen. Or like, oh my God.
And I don't mind this in the least because it makes me laugh equally as much, luckily.
Yeah.
I love it. But I do. I know I have the accent. Yikes. Anyway,
Oh, another idea that I had
wait,
for
it
content.
does say top mascara tips. So I am going to be taking some photos of myself. I would welcome your ideas of like do an influencer one with my mascara. I only have one mascara I like, so I can't do top mascara. Was it tips? Hold on. I have tips. Oh, picks. Top mascara picks. So I only have one mascara that I like now. So, and it's Prime Lash or something. Anyway, I don't even know the name of it. It's the big mascara that I love.
Hmm.
Okay, so I need your idea. Like I was going to do one where I put my hand behind and I take a photo, another one where I'm holding it up. Like I'm going to just do some stills of me with my
Hmm.
favorite mascara and I'm going to put it on there because I saved it. I purposely didn't hit the X because once it goes away, I don't know how to get it back. I haven't solved that one yet. Anyway, so I'm happy about that. But what I was going to say, why did we get into this topic is that you're you're a planner and I'm a spontaneous person. So it's like
Hmm.
I see something, I do it. If I can't do it in
I
this
know,
5 minutes, I'm doing it in the next
because
5 minutes.
I feel like I'd be really good at like batch creating. If like every Friday
Hmm.
for like Creative Fridays, I'm like, I'm just gonna make like 4 or 5 videos today,
I love
and then
this.
just like had that for the next. And then
We're doing
because
it.
it's like, yeah, I know I need to do that. Because
We're
another
doing
idea
it.
that I
We're
had for
committed.
like comedy would be like, this was inspired by like the Joe Coy Golden Globes
Oh my God.
absolute trash
Let's talk
bag
about that for 2 minutes.
set. But it's like, what if I found offensive jokes that men wrote and rewrite them? But I don't want to be like mean, but it's also just like, you
That's so
know,
interesting. Well, somebody recently, oh my gosh, I'm going to say Nicola from Made with Mud Pottery left me a voice Instagram message. And she listened to, remember one of the podcasts a while
I
back?
know I can't find the
We
clip.
got to find this clip, but you have to find it now. You talked about the difference between male comedians and female comedians, and that male comedians will blame the audience when their joke doesn't land versus looking to say, I wonder why that people didn't find that funny instead of, and when you said that like a month ago, and then I'm watching the Golden Globes and that guy's blaming the writers and the audience for not laughing. All I could think about was that podcast episode. And Nicola from Made with Mud was listening to that episode recently. And she's like, I'm catching up and I can't believe this. Julie called this a month ago or however long ago it was. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So you have really good insights. and you have
Thanks.
funny insights. So I think you could be. So I want to task you. I'm going to change your goal. We're going to talk about our goals. Okay. But one of your goals that I'm going to add is that you're going to create content consistently
Hmm.
for 2024 and see what happens to your social media. Because what
Yeah.
happens, I know a lot of times what happens to you, and this is a lot of people who are on social media are guilty of this, Julie, so you're not alone.
I
When the
know because I
view,
write the freaking creative forecast and
I
the
know.
strategy with you. I mean, the socialized strategy and the
Oh, yes.
socialized forecast.
Socialize. We're rebranded and I love it. But what I will say is that so many people get frustrated the minute their video only stops at 200 views and they can't. And after like days of it, it's so annoying. I get it. And it's easy for me
Yeah.
to say. It's easy for me to say because my 200 views might be 2,000 views, for example. And so I still have the same frustration. I'm like, "Ah, I worked so hard on that tutorial and only got
But
2,000 views.
my thing is, I don't even really, I feel like I don't even get that upset about the views.
No, but
Like when I
sometimes you do. You're
stopped,
like, I worked,
but,
you
but
know?
when I stopped posting, like I was getting to the point where every video was getting like consistently like 2,000 views. So I felt like good. But like I know that I do get annoyed at the views because I
You
spend a lot of
do.
time because I spend time making them and I have like
I
I'm
know.
20,000 followers and I'm like I'm a fraud. That's why. I don't get
Mm.
mad that I'm not getting views. I'm like I feel like a fraud that I like have a following and no one's seeing my videos.
All right. I think I understand it because that's what I get in my comment section, like crazy, crazy, crazy of people who just get discouraged because my followers aren't seeing my videos or I spend so much time making this video and it doesn't do well. And I'm going to say I have the same problem because I have people that will comment and say, I haven't seen your videos in like a year. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's the algorithm. But I always say like I'm showing up for the people who are there. And
Hmm.
it doesn't even matter. And sometimes this is a really interesting thing. And I don't know if I talked about it on a podcast or a social media newsletter recently, but if you it brings me back to a time when I didn't have as many followers and I was able to answer all the comments. So I try and channel like what did I like about my social media then and why did I keep doing it then when I
Hmm.
didn't have a lot of followers? And I just at the time I just enjoyed it. And I was like, "Oh, that was such a fun video. We liked watching our own videos, Julie."
Hmm.
So maybe you just have to like watching your own videos
I
again.
know. I do. I think I'm just in a weird phase of like mm,
Mm,
I'm just in a weird I'm in a slump and it's fine and I'm gonna
yeah.
get out of it. But part of it I don't even know. I feel like
Oh,
part of it is from comedy and part of it is just from not feeling like I
inspired
know
or
what I
something.
want. Yeah, not feeling like I
Yeah.
know what I want to like post outside of like a
Hmm.
stand-up clip or like not wanting to do too many trends because I know that's not good. It's like I know all the rules and I know all the things that I should be doing.
I know you know the rules. That's the funny thing. Like your thing is that you just need to take your own advice
Yeah.
because you're so
Yeah,
good at
I
the
know.
advice, and your advice helps me all the time. So it's just I will be here to help you. We are going to tackle this for you
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then I'm going to add this, and just as a plug for our own other podcast, which I am fully and thoroughly enjoying doing the Socialized podcast twice a week. This is crazy. Okay, first we're going to credit Stephen for the idea because it wasn't his
Mhm.
idea originally. So
It
thank
was
you,
his idea.
Stephen. Stephen, with this great
Big shout
idea.
out.
Big shout out. Massive. Because his idea was to turn the newsletter into a podcast. And first, it was just the first newsletter of the week, the Tuesday one, to dig into the trends, explain it a little more. But then I got so into it that I want to do it twice a week now because I think every newsletter we put out deserves to be more and I think deeper dug into. I'm loving it. And it was supposed to be a power podcast, like mini podcast of 15 minutes, which I've been sticking to really good. I know we were going to do
Hmm.
them together, but I think for the sake of efficiency, it's easier for you to do the writing part of it that help me write the forecasts and the strategies, and then I do the recordings. It's just a lot more, I think, more efficient for us in terms of together time. But I love it. And today, friggin' talks for 20, 30 minutes. I don't even know how it
Oh
happened.
my
I was
God.
so in the subject, Julie. And the thing is, I couldn't leave some of it unanswered because I was so digging so deep into the next topic, which was how to monetize on social media. So if you haven't heard that one, you should go listen to it because it's a nice, juicy podcast about ways to make money on social media. And I got so into it, I couldn't stop. So thank you, Stephen, because you've unleashed the beast and it gives me a place and an organized way to really create the content I need week to week about what I love. Oh my God. So, yeah, we have another podcast now and it's mine.
Go check it out.
It's actually ours, but it's just me being on, but it's ours creating
It's
together.
and I will be on. I think we just kind of like jumped right in, and
We
for me
did jump in,
without a plan of like how logistically this works.
and
So for
Julie
me that's
needs a
been
plan.
tough. I need to like well because
I know.
I
I don't need a plan. I just get set up the microphone. Here we go. I don't need a plan. But I think what the point of this is, though, I want to just to go back because I think, first off, you don't need to be on it because you're helping me behind the scenes write them. Like the content's coming
hmm
from both of us. And so whoever is delivering the content, look, if I'm shooting for 2 weeks and I'm not available, you're going to record them. So hope you know that. But I don't feel stressed about it. To me, I believe in what we're saying and get excited about talking about it. So it's so easy and like a no-brainer. Anyway, I still have to make my TikTok about filler words because I'm using a lot of them in this episode and I'm annoyed with myself because I hear it.
It's okay. While
Okay.
you were talking, I got an idea for content for
Oh,
myself
amazing.
because I was like, oh, I should kick off like my new content with like um I'm now I'm focusing on not saying filler words.
Okay.
Focus do a post of my comedy journey so far in like
Uh-huh.
photo carousel form.
That's a great idea because they're pushing out
Yeah,
photo carousels, Julie.
I know.
Okay.
Because every time I go on, it's like photos are doing 2.1.9 times better than video posts.
Amazing. Okay, you're going to do that today.
But should I do it with like, because I have been keeping like I have in
I
the back of
love
my I
it.
have a comedy journal, and in the back of it I have like the date of
Mhm.
all my shows and like the day of my comedy journey. Should I do it as like
I do.
here's like my comedy journey for the past 200 whatever days, and that's like day 65, like day one for a show. Should I do it like that, or should I just
That's
like,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
okay.
fun. So the funny part is once you have an idea, you have a good way of fleshing it out to be good. I would have an idea and then I need you to help me sometimes. Like, how's this going to be better? I have this tip of an idea. Anyway, I just
So a
really
lot of our stuff goes, you brain dump on me, and then I'm like, this is what you should do.
I know. It's like we're perfect. We're a perfect symmetrical match when it comes to things. And my thing is I want to try and help you to because I have this whatever that drive is that's like the unstoppable Helen, like the crazy mothership that's like constantly in motion.
Okay. But I also have that in a different aspect.
Yes, you do.
Like I have that for comedy, but
Yes,
just
you
not
do.
for the social media. You know, it's like it's not that
Right.
I don't have that because I have that policey drive
We do
determination
have.
to just like fucking do it. So I have that in other aspects, but like I'm going through this like slump where, and usually I do have it for social media, but not recently.
No, I
So I
get
need to
it.
get like I need it to like swoop it under the wing of the comedy
Yeah.
drive,
It's
like
crazy
because I know if I post on social media, like I will get more opportunities and I will get seen.
it goes hand in hand. I guess the thing is I'm at an advantage in the social media world for a very clear reason in my mind why I'm at an advantage. And do you know what it is? Because
No,
I love it.
yeah,
Because I love it. So that is the winning sauce. Because you
yeah,
could say, oh, she doesn't give up. Oh, she this, she that. She's like determined. She's motivated and all these things. Okay, yeah, yeah, all those things. Great. I love it. But because I love it, it's what I choose to do. So it's like
hmm
the thing that I want to do when I take a break from doing things is that. And it really is helpful. It's an advantage. So I know it's an advantage and it is what it is. And I just love production and I like making videos and that's my thing. So I'm always going to be doing it because I enjoy it. So you've got to find a way to, because your passion is like is not like is performing comedy and writing comedy and doing all those things. It's not quote making videos about it. So
hmm
you have to somehow make that connection. And this is going to speak to a lot of people listening of how you can really, it's crazy, how you can make the
hmm
connection to the thing that you love and marry it into how you can put it out there on social media in a way that's sustainable. We're going to
Hmm.
work on this. I'm
Yes, we
feeling it.
should.
So you're going to remember what we said, but what we do at
I was trying to
we did
remember
at
the other
Christmas
day.
time. I know I have to remember what my goals were that I said that. So when we're at dinner at I think it's usually Christmas Eve dinner or when we're all
One year,
talking
like last year, we did it on New Year's Eve. This year, we did it on Christmas
or
Eve.
whenever. So over the holidays, Julie had the idea that we were all going to write on a pad what our goals are and what are the four questions? Our goals, where we
Okay,
wanted to travel.
our goals, where we wanted to travel, a new habit we wanted to introduce, or like one we wanted to break, something new we want to try,
Okay.
and something we're manifest. Oh, and we added a fifth one this year, something we're
Oh, something we're
manifesting.
manifesting. Okay, good. So I'll go first. I don't remember some of them, but I know, and I think, all right, let's just start. So one of the goals that I set, and I don't remember saying this for the pad of paper, so that's why I want to put it on record here, is I want to show up
Doesn't have to
on link.
exactly match
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
one
know.
that
I'm going
we,
to put it out
yeah,
though, because this
sorry.
is one that I'm already acting on, and I'm so excited because I'm already committed to it. So that is showing up on LinkedIn more. I think that LinkedIn is a platform where number one, for building business, number two, for getting a different type of networking to happen. I think it's really, really important. And I have put it way on a back burner. I'm like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like YouTube. I'm all this way. And LinkedIn is like, LinkedIn. So this year, that's my goal. Then what was my next thing? My habit or something, whatever it is, was going back to
And
Spanish.
hmm
That was my thing. I'm like, I'm going to attack because I tried last year, I failed at it. I don't like to say failed. I just postponed. So this year I'm going to go back to Spanish. And so you know what I've done already? I'm on a road. I'm on a path. I've already downloaded the paid version of Duolingo and I've been on a consistent streak this week. So every night I do my Duolingo and I'm going to start getting back to Spanish. So that was another one. Then we talked about, I don't know what else my goals were, but those two are two big ones.
it doesn't
And
have to
I
be
think,
exactly.
yeah, I think it was maybe hitting 1 million followers, which will happen eventually. I
Yeah.
don't consider that a goal. I consider that an inevitability. It's just slower now because it takes so long to get any followers on TikTok. So whatever. It's not important.
Yeah.
It's not important. I don't want the
Um,
number to go from 980 to 1 million. I'm good. I'm good right where I am. All right, carry
that's
on.
good.
What are your goals? Let's talk.
Well, I guess we're adding social media to the list
Yes, we
of like
are. That's
goals. So
consistency
that's
on
my big
social
one.
media.
Yeah, and then for comedy, like I forget if that was just something I was manifesting, but like getting paid regularly for comedy
Mm.
somehow. And like figuring out what the next level of like comedy is for me. And then another big one was healing my gut because I've been having a
Oh,
lot of like
yes.
stomach issues and
Good.
trying to figure out like now I know what's wrong with it and now it's figuring out how to heal it.
Good.
And I think it's really uh this past week Steve and I have been like following like more of the diet that I'm supposed to be
Hmm.
following to help relieve the issues. And I'm like, gosh, I hate how it's fucking working. And
Mm.
it's just like, oh, why does eating healthy have to actually work? And it's
Oh
not
my
necessarily like
God.
eating healthy, but it's just like, like
Yes.
I feel better, but it's like it's not that it's disappointing, but it's just like, oh my God, like of
Oh my
course it
God.
works. Like,
Of
you
course it
know.
works. All right. I want to just I forgot to do the manifesting one because this was a big one for me when we were doing it at dinner. So my manifesting is that I'm manifesting being having a segment on the Today Show. Now, I want to just talk about this for a second because I had a realization on something, which is we're going to call a barrier for entry. And I thought of why it's a barrier. So I want to talk about that because I still am manifesting it. No matter what, I'm still manifesting it. And because I think it would be such a cool segment to have on a Today Show where it's like social media updates, weekly updates. I was on the segment with Marsha Doll, which was really funny, by the way. I finally got to see a segment. I posted it on Facebook. I don't know. Go look at it because
Mhm.
you'll be like, oh my God, this is actually decent. It was like a 12-minute segment. I thought I presented really well, which I was scared to watch it because it's always terrifying, to
Uh,
watch yourself after the fact. Whoa. But I really liked it. I was like, oh, okay. But here's what I think the barrier is. Hear me out. If they are promoting something on television, on a news channel, that is driving people to social media, what is that doing for the news channel?
mm,
It's driving the eyeballs away from the news
away.
channel onto social media. So I have to figure out a way that it somehow supports their efforts in order for it to be, because it just hit me. I'm like, why would they want to promote a social media thing? It's only going to take eyeballs
Yeah.
away from them, and people are going to be scrolling on their phones on social media apps. So I think we've got a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm going to have to figure out. I don't have an answer yet. I just kind of thought of it yesterday when I was like, why aren't they calling me? I'm
Hmm.
manifesting the Today Show. And I realize why. So I, given that, I almost think I have to become the sales pitch of I have 1 million followers that I could bring to the Today Show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So I'm working on that. I've got to percolate that. So Megan, if you're listening to this episode, that is the new direction we need to take the next time we reach out to that producer because she's my
Hmm.
ticket. Megan's helping Megan Lynch, my sweetheart, who's helping me get into the Today Show. Oh my gosh, our marketing director, and she's helping me get into the Today Show. All right, so that's what we're working on. Do you have anything else to add for goals, or do we wrap it up? Do we wrap it up?
I think that's it.
It was good. Do you think it's going to be a good year?
Yeah, we were just talking about this last night actually, with like Steven's cousin was here
Oh,
and saying how like 2022 was obviously not great.
mm,
And then 2023 was like
the
a
comeback year.
year kind of, well, like 2022 was yeah, it was like 2022 was really bad. 2023 was like trying to like reset
Process,
and
yeah, reset.
process and now it feels like okay, 2024 we can now like move, not like move on
Move.
because we've all kind of like
Yes.
moved, but like
No, I
now we can
agree.
all,
I
it's
agree.
like 2023 was the year of okay, 2022 was rough emotionally, physically, like everything,
Hmm.
mentally. So like a rest and reset kind of year where we all kind of had goals of like things we wanted to do to go
Mm.
back to normal. And now I feel like 2024, not that like I don't know what I want to do or I have ideas, but it feels more, I don't know. That makes sense.
More focused, right? Or
Yeah.
some way.
I feel more.
I have the same sense of it. 2022, obviously, shit show. 2023, that I believe for me was my comeback year in a way. Because when I
Hmm.
posted my head turn video and I could see the evolution of myself and getting back to myself,
Hmm.
which I didn't really get to until the fourth quarter of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even like looking at that video because I hate the first few head turns. I'm like, ooh. It just brings me back to a time where I wasn't happy, even though I pushed through and I made content and I did it. I didn't
Hmm.
like it, didn't even like looking at myself selfie wise and whatnot. So I do think the same way. I think 2024 now we have focus, we have energy. It's also supposed to be a great year for people getting married. It's a lucky year for Tommy and Jenna, so I'm excited. And it's a lucky year also for them because it's a leap year and it's supposedly very good luck to get married in a leap year. So we have good things to look forward to in 2024 and I am excited.
Me too.
Yours truly.
Helen and Julie.
So if you enjoyed the episode, as always, leave us a review or a comment if you're watching on YouTube. And we just love it. We have a good time doing it. And I hope that you enjoy listening. You can find us on social media. I am at The Mothership with a U, and Julie is at Julie Polisi. And that's Julipoli. So go there because she's going to start posting consistently on her socials now.
You didn't say my full name. You said
Julie,
Julipoli.
Polise. Oh my God. What happens? So
I don't know.
get her whole name and go follow her on social because she's going to be a consistent poster on social media now moving forward and we're going to keep her on track. Together we are hellosocialize.com where we bring you basically the trend reports every week, the weekly email, the weekly podcast. We have the workshops and we have exciting new workshops coming up as well as we have the free TikTok course. So if you know anybody that needs help on TikTok or they're just starting out, send them the course. It's free and it would be a nice gift for them. It would have been a nice holiday gift, but it can be a New Year's gift. All right. And that's it for today. So thank you for listening and thank you, Nick, for editing. And we'll see you hopefully next week if we can get it together to record again. Sounds good.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right. Bye.